citizen who gave their opinion. I'm giving mine, and I have a right to do so. Take it as it is. Well, we back again. You too, Valdosta, Georgia. We're in a city that I guess it needs to be redefined. I just left the Valdosta City School Board of Education meeting, and they elected Bobby Rush to be the new superintendent of the Valdosta City School. I watched something tonight that I don't think I've ever experienced to the degree of depthness as it was tonight. I watched a local minister in our area, Reverend Floyd Rose, practically cried because he saw Warren Lee. In fact, he called his name. Of course, the chairman reminded him that he could not do that, and Minister Rose, the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, began to abide by the policies. But I'm out here now to talk to my friend who stood up last week in a way that was unprecedented for a citizen here in Valdosta, my friend, Brother John Robinson. And the strange thing about what he said, what President Lee Touchton said of the NAACP, as well as Reverend Floyd Rose, yet our local newspaper didn't publish one word. I brought that up last night at the meeting, tonight at the meeting as well. But considering what I just passed on to you, what happened tonight at the meeting, in comparison to what you stood up for last week, my beautiful brother, what do you want to add to this video that will be a historic archival record of just how Valdosta is in 2013, February the 19th to be exact? Tell us your story.
Well, number one, what I understood tonight, that they elected an official that they had absolutely groomed for this position when they was trying to get Dr. Casey in before he was their backup policy. So they had already said that this was going to be the new person, and they elected him tonight. And even though they had a black lady that was qualified, and they understand that a gentleman by the name of Mr. Warren Lee, he came in and he voted against him. See, life is too short for us to be going through this continuously over and over and over. And on the top, and in spite of all of that, they didn't have the citizens to be heard on the agenda. Now, what type of business is that? These are our children. And the school board is there to represent the children and everything that's beneficiary to the children. They take this as if it's bargaining for commodities, some type of product for business, and then totally disregard that this whole system is designed for the benefit of children's education. So therefore they done alleviated the fact that the whole system is designed to educate children and to be able to share the concerns of the parents of the children. But we can't even be on the agenda. Then when we go out and we have discussions pertaining to construction work that's going on in our neighborhood, in our community, they don't even have no regards to the facts. They simply, it's a conspiracy. It's a plot and plan. Development of a pattern and practice over a plantation mentality. And we are disgusted. We are tired.
To say the least.
At the most.
Yeah. And as you said, they didn't even think enough of the black community. We got to start talking black and white. We're sorry. We got to do it now. Because it is arisen to the point now wherein we can't get away from it, Doc. This is what Brother Rose was talking about. And then in the morning, Doc Robinson, tomorrow they're going to do a recap, I'm sure, of that meeting on the conservative radio station, but they won't say nothing on the other radio stations or on TV.
Well, listen.
So it's
the South is still the South. And it's got this Southern mentality. that's deeply embedded. And everyone want to try to get away from the fact that they say we're pulling a race card. It's not nothing to do with no race card. It's got to do with facts. And the fact of the matter is, if you a poor white man, you are considered in the same boat with the black man.
Mm.
And in their book, if you're a black man, they say you're the lowest grade of human species, so therefore they classify you as a nigger. So that being said, I hate to say those words and use the N word, you know. I really regret saying that because I was the lead plaintiff in a civil litigation for 850 people and that for discrimination and whites that associated with blacks that were discriminated against. I by no means have a racist bone in my body. But the true facts of the matter is, we got a problem here, and it's about race. And it's a conspiracy and a plot. And sometimes, black folks vote against black folks just to let white folks know that they're in tune. And that's a disgrace. Let them know that they're in tune for their system that blacks have been alleviated from. We have been totally excluded. We were excluded tonight from the agenda. We are not included in this community.
Well, Dr. Chairman say he forgot. But don't you think that if he is a chairman, all due respect to my beautiful brother, but if he's a chairman, how can he not put the most important item on the agenda, and that is the people? He would not even be, people wouldn't even be on the board if the people hadn't voted him in through the election system process. It just don't make sense to me, my brother.
Well, my friend, how in the opposite of heaven could he forget such a thing?
I know that's right. And then, Doc, check this. Lord have mercy. Then, after they forgot and left off the agenda, Reverend Rose spoke, and I waited, intentionally I may add, to ask to be added or to say something because my heart was bubbling for the concerns of all children in the school system. And Mr. Board Member Bill Love said, no.
For you not to speak.
For me not to speak. But I want to commend the chairman for doing what I believe the Georgia Attorney General have approved over and over again and strengthened by the governor, that open records and the Sunshine Law should be respected to the highest degree. But we can see here in Valdosta that there is that old 1860 charter mentality which says in paragraph 100, section 11, that the mayor and council shall pass all proper and necessary laws and ordinances for the control of slaves and free persons of color, and to suppress and abate all nuisances arising from hogs, dogs, horses, or other animals straying at large in Valdosta. And so to me, they were trying to control, suppress, and abate Reverend Rose. And so after the meeting, we wondered why they had to wait to the meeting get started to reapprove their addition to the agenda. Don't get me wrong. They did add citizen participation before the meeting rolled around, but they knew they had made a mistake, but they corrected it. But how could they do that? And they knew that was a hot item anyway. So why would they even? It just don't make sense, my brother.
That was deliberate. I'll ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What amendment is the freedom of speech?
Number one, right before zero. Right after zero.
Huh?
Yeah, one.
Okay. So they violated the First Amendment. That's number one. Freedom of speech. Exercising the right of freedom of speech. See, it's bad here. See, these are the kind of things when it comes down to plots of conspiracy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And it's diabolical.
You said that last week, but the Valdosta Daily Times didn't publish that. And so this is what I said now. People don't even know what you said last week, man. It's like a tree fell in the forest, and they telling us they ain't even no forest. And yet you spoke in the forest, Rose spoke in the forest, Lee Touchton spoke in the forest, so we know the forest exists, but they done told everybody in the general public the forest don't even exist.
Well,
Channel 6 wasn't there, Channel 10 wasn't there, 27 wasn't there. And guess what I did? I saw Greg riding past out here just a few minutes ago on Highway 84. I tooted my horn and I called it. And I asked him, why weren't you at the meeting? He said he's going to try to get down there tomorrow and they're going to cover that. And you know, it's so sad, man. What's wrong here in South Georgia? And what's wrong with the Georgia Attorney General? Why we have had 31 jail deaths. We have a little 8 by 4 foot long, wide place at the library for citizens to be heard. Got another little section at the county commissioners meeting that they put us to. And the news media haven't said nothing about it. The news media haven't said nothing about how they try to restrict us, and deny us our First Amendment right to address and to speak publicly at a public meeting in the state of Georgia. In 2013, and you know how many pastors I saw there tonight?
How many?
About 2 or 3.
What?
About 2 or 3.
Well, see, we got a ways to go, and we're going to get there. Now, the Justice Department will be in here. And we do believe that they're coming. And we do believe that many things are going to be revealed to the Justice Department. And we hoping that we can stem some type of investigation. We're going to file complaints. We're going to file charges. We're not going to be kidding around about it.
Dr. Robinson, we have looked, the Justice Department have been here. The Justice Department have disappointed this community as well. The Justice Department are fully aware that we've had 31 jail deaths. They know that people are still dying. They still know that people are living in the old jail under inhumane conditions, and yet they have not come in here and done anything that we can put our finger on. It's just like the meeting on the 17th of July of last year. Secretary of State Brian P. Kemp sent an investigator down from Macon to listen to the people's complaint. I gave him a couple of DVDs to take back to Macon with him. He's supposed to got back with us, along with Brian P. Kemp. We haven't heard nothing from them in terms of the results of that investigation or what the Secretary of State findings are. And so my thing is this here. Whether it's the Justice Department, whether it's Jesse Jackson, whether it's Al Sharpton, whether it's Michael Baisden, whether it's Mark Thompson, whether it's Tyrone Brooks, whether it's the governor of the state of Georgia, regardless of who or what it is, we need help down here.
Well, you know, I'm going to say this. The Justice Department may be here already. Okay? And it may be closer on them than they can imagine. You okay?
Yes, sir.
So, because that's Washington.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
And they are very covert.
Yes, sir.
So now, that being said, you better watch yourself. You better watch yourself. And you better be very careful with what you do. I know you can watch the video. Well, you watch every video this man produced. But I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to get away with what you're doing. Because we're not going to permit you to. Some of us is not joking about this.
This is serious.
And some of us sure not afraid. And we're not scared. See, when I come forward from my mother's womb, I was destined to the graveyard. So, death is not my fear. I'm not afraid of that. Because dying is part of living. So I don't have no reason to have no fear for any man. I don't have no reason to lie. You done excluded us one time too many. Maybe everybody else is going along with your program. But me personally, and a few others, like Mr. Ryan's here, we're not going along with your program. And you're going to get it right with the school board. You're going to get it right with the city downtown. And you're going to get it right because we're going to get our share. We're going to get our portion. We get sick and tired.
And our children are fed up. That's the bad thing about it.
Man, we ain't got nothing in our community.
Why should our children want to go to school and get an education and only to listen to their mother, their father, their grandmama and great-grandmother behind closed doors tell them what they can't say because they're on the board of education or because they're on the city council or board or committee or if they're on the Lowndes County Board of Commission and scared as hell? What can they say? And so their children know that they can see their black parents who are living in fear of whatever it may be. It's just that simple. But Doc, you know what? You know, I have a lot of white folk who ain't happy with this. So this is why I tell black folk, don't y'all hate all white people. There's some white people just as fed up with what's going on in here in Valdosta, Lowndes County, in South Georgia, as any black person could ever be. And you may ask me, Brother Rams, how do you know? Because they come and tell me. There are people in law enforcement that come and talk to me, and others and tell us what's going on. It ain't like it used to be. There are people who are telling the truth. And eventually, Lord have mercy, Doc, there's going to be a lawsuit that is filed, going to hit the taxpayers in the pocket so deep.
I was told by a lady in real estate when we first come here with our business that I was in the South and I was in Lowndes County, and that the good old boys is not going to permit me to succeed. And I was told by a gentleman that runs a truck operation here, that sell used trucks, that if I was in Jacksonville, we was in Atlanta, we could make it, but we in Lowndes County, that black person not going to make no success unless he ride and play Po Joe. Okay? That if he do have it, he can't enjoy it because he got to look like he's a poor person. And that he got to ride in raggedy cars and stuff. They wasn't talking to me. I refused to hear that. So, we are not dependent upon Lowndes County, nor the city, because we have architects and engineers in our family. My sons are psychologists, architects, engineers, and businessmen. Can't get nothing from this county, nothing from the city, but we yet are surviving because all our work comes from outside of this local government. And we're going to stay independent. And we're going to keep on striving. See, it's justice and equality for everyone. It's not about black and white. It's justice and equality for everybody. But here in Lowndes County, they make it about black and white because they are the ones that scrutinizing these policies.
And something else we're going to do, Doc. We done forgot something. Doc, you and I, we have forgotten something. We have forgotten to talk about, y'all listen to me. We have forgotten to talk about the way and the manner by which our children at the end of the year get what? Scholarships.
Oh, man.
The way scholarships is handed out in the school system, I believe need to be investigated.
They gave about $12 million in scholarships in Lowndes County. Not one black student got a scholarship. $12 million. But when this city go to play football, they shut this whole city down. And depending on these little black kids run that ball. So, you know, it's a lack of justice and equality here. And it's really bad. But we have a built-in intuition that we are survivors.
Yeah, we are. We are.
Now, we don't have no banks, no financial institutions that would help our contractors. We got 80 certified contractors. Mm-hmm. We got DOT certified contractors, and the only means that we have is governmental projects. But we are willing. We are trying to reach across the line, but they're making it difficult. We can't even bring an outside contractor in that can bring us $8 to $12 million in funding for projects, and they'll tell us that you can't. They can't come in and do business in the county, in the city, but they'll allow other contractors to come in and do business.
Yes, sir.
So when we bring these guys in the joint venture with our guys,
like they do every day, they do it.
Yeah, they provide funding that we can build big projects. They just tell us it's absolutely out that they got to have residents here. First they said they need a business set up here, so we said, okay, we got a business established here, a joint venture. So they had a business set up for over a year. A guy named was Beasley that we brought in. He brought $4.5 to $12 million of funding. So they can joint venture with our guys. They said they rejected that. They said Beasley got to have a resident here. Now, the other contractors come in and bid it on, got a project with 20, I'm going to say between 10 and 20 million to $30 million with the school, and they're from out of the state. So we are being handicapped here in this city when we need someone to do something about it. And we don't need to come in and be speculative about it. We want you to be direct to the point that it is about the black and the white issues here by the policies that have been set by pattern and practice over the years.
Yes, sir.
Okay? See, when this city was just an old country city, it could be ran like a country town by the good old boys and their techniques. But now this city went metro, that changes things. And we need to have people we need to have blacks that's in positions not to become their political peons and puppets. Okay?
That includes the pastor. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And what they do, they use these people for the positions, and they handicap these people. And these people can't really do anything except go along with the program or get ridiculed. And it's sad. Our city manager.
We met with him anyway.
Yeah, but he's an orchestrator.
Yeah.
Okay. He's good.
Okay.
He's good.
Okay.
And he's been setting these policies for years. They got a network from here to Washington. And it's very tight. It's a Republican network. Okay? And it's very tight. And they killed the black community with the bridge project. They didn't give no money for the funding for that. Then they turn around now and they're dealing with us with our children. We can't even go to a public meeting and be placed on the agenda just to say, hey man, what are you guys' decisions you guys are making on behalf of our kids?
And another thing, they wouldn't even answer the questions that Rose asked the other night, number one. And number two, in the state of Georgia, the newspapers and the television stations and the radio stations didn't even publish it. Well, it's just like a tree falling in the forest, and then they say that the tree and the forest don't exist.
Well, brother, the reason that they're not answering is because of the mentality that's in here of the South, that they don't feel that they have to answer to a black person.
They've done it so long then.
Okay? So, it's this what we got to get beyond.
Well, you rang Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and I mean, don't you think that if this had happened in the 60s that this, because, and I know there's other cities probably the same way, but I think that because Valdosta school system is so dark in terms of black population that somebody, the Justice Department, the Secretary of State, or somebody ought to come down and just take a look.
You know, I'm going to answer that by saying this. Jesse needs to sit down and be quiet. Okay? He do need to sit down and be quiet. See, because his sons have made a mockery of their lives. And they seem to be trapped in the zone of entrapment as well. Now, Al, I can't say, but I will say this, that I tried to contact Mr. Jesse Jackson when I had my litigation going. Because my name Robinson, he had a brother named Robinson. He thought I was his brother, so his brother created him embarrassment, so he wouldn't contact me. Okay? So, I don't have too much to say in the best of interest of Mr. Jackson. Not that I dislike him. It's just that ever since Martin got killed, he never was seen publicly no more with Coretta Scott King until the day she died. So, some things speak louder than words, man. So anyway, so much for that. I think that we need to keep on trying to make progress, keep reaching out toward the line, and there's going to be sacrifice. And I believe that everybody got to try to make some kind of sacrifice for peace sake. But this stuff here is ridiculous. It's uncalled for. It's so bad here until blacks won't cater to blacks. It's bad here.
Well, my thing is that we need help here, and if anybody come in to help us, please come. But we're not going to sit back and wait for help to come from the outside. We already got some people who are planning to come, and we're looking for them to come and come in such a way that they will be able to make a difference. But I want to see people that live here to step up to the plate and start acknowledging that we have been being made to remain in a state of deaf, dumb, and blind because we're not getting the information. And that's a great impact. Close us out, my beautiful brother, and let's go home.
All right. Now I'm going to tell you something. We got some good people here. And we got some positive people here. And we got people here that nobody's going to change, as well as we talking about it. And we got some smart, brilliant people here that's black. And believe it or not, they're going to come forward when the hour comes. and we're going to make some progress. They all are not cowards. They just don't feel there's no need because they've been excluded for so long.
What happens to a person, Doc, when they feel like they've tried all the legal means and nothing happens? It seems as if though they have tried to follow the teachings of Jesus, and all of a sudden they just feel like there's no more hope. You got them in a corner. What happens to...
Well, people go into deep depression.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And the stress become overwhelming. And if you put too much air in a balloon, it pops. And that's what happens to people out here in society. It pops. Okay? So now, can you tolerate them when they pop? That's the problem. So then you mark them as being crazy and nutty, but you the one calls them to pop. And there's a lot of people gonna pop around here, boss, before it's over and said and done.
Is that right there?
Oh yes, sir.
There's only so much a person
It's only
can...
so you can't put so much air in a balloon, it's gonna pop.
Somewhere I read in the volume of Sacred Law, it says that all the days of my appointed time will I wait until my change come. And so that change just may be a pop, huh?
It may be a pop. I want to say this.
Okay, go ahead. Close that.
Each day of our life is a page in time. And this day page is folding to an end. And it's a sad ending that is closing out today. That our school board did what it done today. And the final closing of the page to the last hour of the day. And that's a disgrace before God. But we're praying that tomorrow will be a brand new day. And we hope that it do not close out on its final pages like today.
And as it is written, and so shall it be done. We are not who we claim to be as a city, but who we prove ourselves to be over a given period of time. And right now, Valdosta is continuing to prove itself to be the followers and participants in the old 1860 charter mentality to suppress and abate all nuisances, all citizens and nuisances arriving from hogs, dogs, horses, and other animals. And it is indeed a disgrace. And I'm going to hope on behalf of the people at Moody Air Force Base and all who will come to Valdosta State University, Wiregrass Technical College, Georgia Military, and those who come to Wild Adventures theme park will understand that we have major problems here. And if you don't want to see the problem that we have here, then help us to work to change them. Or otherwise, Valdosta is going to be as it was in the 60s. And that is what Reverend Joseph Lowry said is the foundation of another civil rights movement. Until next time, bye-bye, we're gone. Thank you, my beautiful brother.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye, we're gone.